Hi everyone, we are back. We are Laura, Jason, and Jessica here joining you from SNAP Education. And we showed you our pantries, or the whole grains in our pantries the other day. And then we had challenged one another to come up with a whole grain recipe that utilized stuff from our pantries and any fresh ingredients that we may have had on hand. So to kick things off and show us exactly what they created, let's start with Jess.
All right, so since we're talking about whole grains, we just wanted to bring out the My Plate and show that grains should really cover about a quarter of our plate. So it's important to make sure we're getting in our other food groups with our meals. So for my meal, I took a recipe from the Cooking Matters classes, and I made orange oatmeal pancakes, which make a great breakfast. They're definitely one of my favorite recipes that we make. And then just to balance out my meal, I added some sliced apples to it. And then I have a glass of milk on the side. With this recipe, it calls for a half a cup of all-purpose flour and a half a cup of whole wheat flour. But I have a lot of whole wheat flour, so I just did all whole wheat flour, which is just going to add more fiber and goodness. And they taste the same as when it's half and half. So that's my recipe. Jason, what did you make?
So I made stir fry, and I'm pretty excited to get to eat this. So what I did was I made a really big pot of brown rice. Brown rice doesn't have a whole lot of dietary fiber, and it has about 2 grams per serving. But it is really something good that we can kind of keep on hand. I can keep this in the refrigerator, or if I don't think I'll eat it in the next 3 to 4 days, I can keep it in the freezer. The way that I made my brown rice was actually just a simple boil method, which I usually hate making brown rice because I need to measure everything very, very specifically. But with this, I just kind of made a really big pot of broth using instant broth and tea leaves. And then I boiled the rice in it for about 20 minutes until it tasted. It was the texture that I really liked. And then I just drained it, and then that's my rice. I made sure to include a whole bunch of vegetables here. Like Jess was telling us, My Plate, we need to have about a quarter of our plate to be whole grains, and then a quarter of our plate everything else. So I got a little bit of fruit with my orange. I have some protein with my egg, and then I have some broccoli with a lot of calcium in it, and some bell peppers with vitamin.
All right, so those look really great. I feel like you guys did more work than I did. The pantry item that I found to use is a corn muffin mix. And I use this because corn flour is included, which is a whole grain, and there's also wheat flour in here. But then I tried to think of a way to boost the nutrition of my corn muffins. So I actually had some black beans on hand, some frozen corn, and some pickled jalapenos to add a little bit of spice. And I added that right to the mix. So I made the corn muffin mix just as the box recommended. And then I just added those, like a few tablespoons of each ingredient, folded that in at the end. And they came out pretty good, honestly. They kind of taste spicy, and the beans and the corn got nice and soft inside the muffin. But then that made me think too, like, I feel like I also have baking mixes in my pantry that aren't necessarily whole grain. How could I boost the nutrition within those as well, even if I'm making something sweet, not savory? And I actually posted this yesterday, and somebody came up with a great idea to add like chopped apples or chopped pears to a cake mix, or a big scoop of peanut butter and a banana to a brownie mix. And I thought that'd be like a nice addition. You get your grains, but then you also kind of complete that My Plate a little bit by adding some sprinkles of fresh frozen or canned things too. So, well, thank you for joining us. We're probably going to be doing a couple more of these pantry challenges in the coming weeks. If you have any great ideas to share, please share below. We'd love to hear your ideas, and maybe we could use one of them for one of our videos. All right, thanks for joining us, everyone.